Yesterday, we picked up Ella the Excella from Woodland Airstream in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Today, I wanted to show you all of the repairs that we had done, as well as talk about the cost for each item. But be sure to stick around until the end, where I will go over the all-in grand total cost of how much it was to get all of these repairs done. The first item on the list was to repair and relocate our freshwater tank. When we purchased Ella, we knew there was an issue with this. The previous owner let us know that the water tank that is underneath was not functioning, and the owner before him had installed a 25-gallon water tank in the closet. We actually think that they had a washing machine in here. Who knows? Anyways, it was not fun to fill. It's not where it was supposed to be, and it was a huge fix. We definitely couldn't have done it. So that was the first major item that we had Woodland repair. The total costs for that was $2,387.25. The next major fix was to close off and patch the front battery boxes. If you guys followed our 28 days of Airstream renovation, you would have seen that we had removed these old battery boxes. We're no longer using lead acid batteries. We are using lithium ion. We do not need those boxes, and they were in the way. So we removed them, but that left gaping holes in our Airstream. We put some flex tape up and a piece of aluminum, but we did not have the skills necessary, nor did we want to learn how to rivet and repair all of that stuff. We had Woodland do it, and they did an excellent job. Sealed, insulated, looks great. The total cost for repairing the battery box area was $1,399.17. The next major item was the tankless water heater. On our second trip with Ella last summer, our water heater went kaput. We did not have hot water for the rest of the trip, and we had discussed getting a tankless water heater. The cost for the unit and installation of the tankless water heater was $2,380.86. The remaining items on the list are smaller projects, but they are just as important. We had a wheel pack and checking the brakes. So we got a new grease seal, we had them repack the wheel bearings and inspect everything, and the brake assemblies and the axle and all that jazz. Everything is good, and the total cost for that was $314.78. The next item was an item that is close to my heart. It was repairing the pantry catch and the glide. I had the hardest time opening the pantry last season, and also we had to close it with a bungee cord to keep it locked while we were on the road because the bottom catch was not working. The technicians had to kind of build this from scratch. They removed and shimmied the bottom roller. They added nylon guide and a strip of aluminum to the damaged portion of the cabinet, and everything was repaired. So the total cost was $291.20, and I say money well spent because now it opens like butter. The next item was to reattach the back cabinet doors. We did not expect this to happen on our second trip. The entire back cabinet just fell off. So we had Woodland repair this. The total cost for that was $109.20. The next item on the list was to locate a breaker panel cover. This Airstream is from 1989. We could not find a cover for the breaker anywhere. We looked online, we used the numbers on the back. We couldn't find one. Woodland custom made us a very nice aluminum cover, and it looks great. The total cost for that was $109.20. The next item was to install the two Fantastic fans. Now, we supplied the Fantastic fans. We bought them ourselves, and Goran very well could have done this job, but he's not an expert at installing fans. It would have taken him a few days, whereas with Woodland, they do this all the time. It's their bread and butter. It only took them a couple of hours. So the total cost, now this isn't including the cost of the actual fans. We bought those previously. This is just for the installation, was $546.96. Now that does seem a little bit high, but the reason for that is they had to do a lot of cutting around the holes. Again, this is a really old Airstream, so they had to make sure it fit well, and that just took a little bit longer. Our next item was an AC inspection. Last season, we had a lot of dripping issues, and we were just wondering if that had to do with the AC or if it was just like, okay, were we not level? Was it just too hot out? We had no idea. We'd never, RV'd before. So it turns out that, they blew out the coil, they checked everything, but they couldn't go in and check the pan because it can get damaged very easily. And if they do that, they have to replace the whole thing. So their recommendation is to get a new AC unit in future seasons, which we were already planning on doing, but we'll see, unfortunately with these old Airstreams, there isn't really much you can do with a unit that's that old, but hopefully it will work. And the total cost for that was $36.40. The technician literally got up there and blew out the coils. It took, 15 minutes, so they didn't charge us much for that. The next item was to install a new shower hose lower elbow from the wall. So we had Airstream go in and install the correct part. The total cost for that was $283.24. The next item is another small but necessary item. This was to replace the zippity claw on our awning. Funny story, we accidentally broke the end of it when we were pulling it out. We were being too aggressive and it just snapped off. This could have been something that we could fix if we had been able to find the part, but we would have had to order an entire box of all these different parts that we didn't need. Woodland just had one laying around and they were able to just put it on. So that's the reason we had them do it. And the cost was $98.93. Next item, another small but very necessary item, was to replace the wardrobe magnet catch. When I took the lock off of the closet door so that I could paint the outside, I could not figure out how to get that thing back on, and neither could Goran. I don't know what the heck was going on with it. So we just had Woodland install a new catch for us. They installed a heavy duty magnet. It works great. It stays shut, and that's all we need it to do. The total cost for that was $45.36. The next item was to check the LP regulator for leaks. Basically, we just wanted to make sure that everything was safe with our propane. So they did a test on it. They only got 7 inches of water column. It should be 11 to start. So there's a faulty regulator. It was outdated. So what they did was they removed and replaced the regulator and the hose assembly, leak tested it, and the pressure is now correct. The total cost for that with parts was $303.65. The second to last item we had was to check the stove galley vent operation and repair it if needed. We had no idea what was going on with it. We thought that maybe animals, bugs, and mice were able to get in. So they replaced the stove vent that was missing a flap door, and they also installed a screen guard inside of the stove vent. So that will keep out bugs and mice and all of that jazz. So the total cost for that job was $155.99. Finally, we had them check the underbelly for places that rodents could get in. So it looks like they pinned back the underbelly in several places, and they filled several holes with Volcom sealer. They riveted the rubber wiper seals in the valve handle location, and all of that cost $145.60. Ella was at Woodland Airstream from Friday, November 12th, 2021 until Friday, April 1st, 2022. The work was completed on her sometime around like March 10th, but we weren't able to get to Michigan to pick her up until April 1st. If you are thinking about getting some work done at Woodland Airstream, I just want to let you know that they are taking appointments into August as we speak, and today is April 2nd, 2022. I asked Joyce, the service coordinator, if this was just a pandemic related thing or if that's just the way it is. And she says she's been working there for 3 years and it has always been this way. They get a lot of business because they do good work. If you would like to get something done there, make sure you call and get your appointment. Woodland doesn't only work with Airstreams, though that is the majority of the work that they do. They work on all RVs, and they also can do customizations for you. Now, what you all have been waiting for. How much did we pay to get all of this work done at Woodland Airstream? And the grand total is $8,770.05. 14 cents. The three major items that contributed to that total were the tankless water heater, the new fresh water tank, and the battery door patching. If we were to take those three items off of this list, our total would have been $2,600 as opposed to almost $8,800. Those were huge repairs. We had to have those done. Next week, we are going to talk about the renovation projects that remain and give you a backstage look at what it takes to plan out, a renovation project like this. It's a big deal. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to do that so you will be notified whenever we release a new video. And be sure to like this video if you liked it, because then that helps other people find it. And we'll see you next week.